Ever wonder why, no matter how hard you try to calm your mind, that inner noise never fully goes away? The answer isn't about fighting your thoughts, it's about creating a space where they simply lose their power. And that's where Achala Arpanam Sadhana comes in. By combining stillness, mantras, and Devi's energy, this simple practice has the power to transform not just your mind, but your entire life. Curious to know how? Then keep reading. Building a deep connection with Devi isn't just about belief, it's like tuning into a frequency that dissolves inner chaos. Imagine your mind as a lake stirred by the wind. When you connect with Devi, it's like the wind stops, leaving the lake's surface calm and clear. With that clarity, you can see beyond daily distractions and find answers that once seemed out of reach. This isn't some abstract mysticism, it's like turning off background noise so you can hear your true self. To start, you don't need anything fancy. Just sit in a quiet space with no expectations. Close your eyes for a moment or leave them open, but without focusing on anything specific. The key is to create a moment of presence. It's like putting your phone down to really listen to someone, only this time you're listening to yourself. Within a few minutes, your mind begins to slow down. And don't worry if thoughts still show up. The connection happens not by eliminating thoughts, but by becoming aware of them. Here's something most people miss. This connection isn't about asking for things or solving problems. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, creating space for something greater. Think of it like cleaning out a cluttered closet. If it's packed with stuff, there's no room for anything new. But once you organize it, you feel that sense of lightness. It's the same with your mind, and the more you practice, the more that clarity starts spreading into the rest of your life. Of course, things get even more interesting when you add the next element. The practice of stillness is simple, yet powerful. No complicated postures or perfect settings needed. Just sit with your eyes open, not focusing on anything, and let your mind slow down. It's like watching the sunset without thinking, just observing. Over time, this habit reduces mental noise and brings a sense of peace that lasts throughout the day. The key is not to expect instant results. Just like muddy water needs time to settle, your mind also needs that space. If you want to apply this in your daily life, start by dedicating just 5 minutes in the morning or before bed. Choose a quiet corner, sit comfortably, and simply be there. Don't fight your thoughts, just watch them pass by, like clouds drifting across the sky. If your mind keeps wandering, that's okay. The important thing is not to latch onto any specific thought. Gradually, the space between your thoughts will start to grow, like the silence between notes in a song. And in that space is where true stillness happens. And don't underestimate the impact of this. Over time, this practice changes the way you respond to the world. Imagine being stuck in traffic or caught up in an argument, and instead of getting frustrated, you stay calm, not because you're holding it in, but because that peace has become part of who you are. And the best part is, when you combine that stillness with the energy of the Devi yantra, the results go beyond what most people can imagine. The Devi yantra isn't just a decorative symbol, it's like an antenna tuned to Devi's frequency. Its presence helps burn off the mental residue that builds up throughout the day, those repetitive thoughts that drain your energy. It's like turning on a fan in a stuffy room. You can't see the breeze, but you feel the relief. Only instead of cooling your body, the yantra brings clarity to your mind, making spiritual growth easier without constant effort. If you want to experience this effect, placing the yantra in your meditation space or even in a quiet corner of your home makes a difference. The best way is to sit in front of it with your eyes open, not staring directly, but allowing its presence to calm your mind. It's not about believing or not. It's like listening to relaxing music. You feel the effect, even if you don't understand every note. And over time, This practice starts dissolving those thoughts that once seemed impossible to shake off. Now, here's something most people don't realize. The Devi Yantra doesn't eliminate negative thoughts, it changes how you perceive them. It's like watching a storm through a safe window. The storm still exists, but it doesn't affect you the same way. And what's even more fascinating is that this transformation becomes even stronger when combined with chanting mantras, creating an experience that goes beyond words. Chanting mantras like Linga Bhairavi Stuthi or Lum Vum isn't just about sound, it's a way to tune your body and mind to a higher frequency. Think of an out-of-tune guitar. No matter how well you play, the sound will never be right. Similarly, a restless mind creates chaotic thoughts. The mantra works like tuning an instrument, bringing focus and balance without effort. The key is to use it at the right time, not as a quick fix, but as a practice that deepens your connection with Devi. If you want to try it, start by setting aside 5 minutes in a quiet space. Sit comfortably and chant the mantra out loud or silently. It doesn't have to sound perfect. The important thing is to feel the vibration resonating through your body. If you prefer, follow along with a guided video to help keep the rhythm. And here's a crucial tip. Don't use the mantra only when you're in trouble. It's like calling a friend only when you need help the relationship wears thin. Instead, make chanting a regular practice, building a genuine bond with Devi. Over time, you'll notice that chanting the mantra not only calms your mind, but also strengthens your inner presence. It's like having a flame burning inside you, lighting up even the toughest moments. And what's interesting is that this state of clarity stays with you, even after the chanting ends, making everyday life feel lighter. As this practice becomes part of your routine, you'll start to see a crucial difference between true devotion and simply seeking help when things get rough. True devotion isn't about asking for favors or expecting rewards, it's about maintaining unwavering focus, no matter what happens. Think of an athlete training every day not because they expect to win every time, but because they love what they do. In the same way, devotion is a commitment to something greater without expecting instant results. When your connection with Devi is genuine, it doesn't matter if your day was good or bad, her presence remains a source of balance. The problem arises when spirituality becomes an emergency fix. It's like calling a friend only when you need help. Sooner or later, the relationship wears thin. With devotion, the strain doesn't come from Devi, but from your own mind, which starts seeing the practice as an obligation. To avoid this, the key is to create small moments of connection every day, without expecting anything in return. It can be as simple as lighting a candle in front of the Devi Yantra or chanting Lum Vum for a few minutes. The important thing is to keep the practice alive. And the curious part is that when devotion becomes part of your daily life, it transforms even the most ordinary situations. A boring task becomes a chance to practice patience, and a moment of anxiety turns into an invitation to take a deep breath and remember Devi's presence. It's like having a lighthouse guiding you, even when life's fog tries to block the way. And this sense of presence becomes even stronger when you include Achala Arpanam Sadhana in your daily routine. Achala Arpanam Sadhana is simple, yet it changes the way you see the world. No complicated postures or long hours of meditation are needed. Just sit for 12 to 15 minutes, or up to 21 minutes if you prefer, with your eyes open and unfocused. It might sound short, but that time is enough for your mind to slow down, like a river calming when the wind stops. And the more you practice, the more this state of stillness becomes natural, even outside meditation. If you want to include this practice in your daily life, pick a set time, ideally in the morning or before bed. Sit in a quiet space with your spine straight, but relaxed. Keep your eyes open without looking for anything specific. Just be present. At first, your mind will try to jump from one thought to another, but don't fight it. Simply watch, like observing traffic without getting involved. Over time, this simple act of not reacting creates an inner space where anxiety and stress lose their grip. And the interesting thing is that this state of presence doesn't disappear when the practice ends. Little by little, you start noticing that everyday situations don't affect you the same way. That frustration in traffic, the impatience at work, everything seems to lose its power to throw you off balance. It's like a part of you stays grounded no matter what happens. And when that stability combines with a heart full of love, life takes on a whole new intensity. True love isn't just a feeling, it's a force that transforms the way you live. Imagine going through your day carrying a lit lantern. Everything around you seems brighter, more vibrant. In the same way, a heart full of love lights up even the toughest moments. And it's not just about romantic love, it's that inner state of openness and compassion that makes every experience more meaningful. When love is present, even the simplest tasks feel different, as if they're touched by something deeper. To cultivate this state, start by noticing the little things. A genuine smile, a kind gesture, or even the smell of coffee in the morning, everything can be a chance to feel gratitude. And here's something important. Love doesn't need a reason to exist. Just like the sun doesn't need a reason to shine, true love doesn't depend on circumstances. It simply is. And the more you nurture this feeling, the more it spreads, affecting not only you, but also everyone around you. The curious thing is that this state of love creates an invisible magnetic field. People naturally feel more comfortable around you. Relationships become lighter, and even challenges seem less intimidating. And what's even more fascinating is that when this love combines with the practice of stillness and the energy of the Devi yantra, life begins to take on a depth that once felt out of reach. And if you're ready to experience this transformation in a guided way, the next practice might be exactly what you've been looking for. Now, just sit down. No need to force anything. Let your body relax, but keep your spine straight. Your eyes can stay open without focusing on anything specific. Just be here. Listen to the sounds around you without judging. If there's noise, let it be. There's no need to push thoughts away, just watch them pass by, like clouds drifting across the sky. When the sound of the Lum Bum chant begins, let it touch not just your ears, but your whole being. As the chant vibrates through your body, feel its resonance moving within you. You don't have to chant along unless you feel like it. Just stay present. The sound isn't just a sound, it's a doorway opening to a deeper dimension of yourself. Like a gentle wave washing over the shore, the mantra dissolves tension without any effort. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Just bring it back gently to the sound you're hearing. Now, let the sound blend with the silence. There's no separation between the mantra and the space around you. In this moment, there's nothing to achieve, just being here is enough. And as the sound fades away, notice what remains. A silent space filled with presence. Stay there for a few moments without rushing. Because it's within that silence that the true connection with Devi happens. And when you open your eyes, carry that presence with you, letting it touch every part of your life. Now that you know the way, the choice is yours. Will you let your mind run on autopilot, or will you start creating a space of clarity and presence every day? Try Achala Arpanam Sadhana. Let Devi's energy touch your life and see the difference. And tell me this, how would your life change if your mind was always at peace? If you enjoyed this content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep exploring this journey of learning.